Welcome back to part two, new Giraffe360 Pro Camera and Giraffe360 Photographer Program. We're visiting with Giraffe360 founder and CEO, Mikas Opelts. Mikas, when in our previous part, we were talking about the content that's delivered. I promised to get back to social media, but we were talking about the deliverables, and I just want to go back to single property website, dedicated property website, whatever, perhaps you call it something else. Can you speak to what's actually being delivered on that page and what you're thinking about of why you've included that as one of the digital assets that's being delivered?
Yeah, that's first of all, like I think AI is today it's already so much used term that people might be starting to kind of tune out on it. But really, due to the advancements of AI, we can flip the page from single content development to actual marketing campaign development. That is the transition that we see. We can call this revolution if we want to be fancy, and so we in Giraffe no longer think about single content production, even though we just spent 30 minutes talking about single assets and how they break down, and I think it's now becomes very interesting how you can then merge these assets to deliver full marketing. That's the headline for how we think about product development. So we created the Spotlight, our marketing automation tool that allows to automate the real estate marketing workflows. And the first release came out, it was probably being 30 days now. The V1 version has two main deliverables. One is the single property website that gets rendered from all the contents that we have created in the content studio. So it's photography, it's floor plan, it's the video, it's the virtual tour. We have the property location, we have AI generated description, and pulls it together in a single beautiful website in a quite convenient UI, and every property can get this website. And with next releases, we're going to start adding templates, different designs, and so today we have the first version out. And the second big deliverable from the Spotlight platform was our specific posts for social media, because just throwing a picture in social media doesn't work. You need to add a logo. You need to add kind of like a headline. Is this property for sale? Maybe what's the price? And so we have created we call it the Spark generator that generate different social media sparks, and there is now limited amount of templates that can be rendered and again, we use the same image or floor plan as an input file or panorama to then render the spark and publish on that's ready to publish on the social media. And the true value behind Spotlight, how we think about it, is then automating also the whole delivery, connecting to the social media accounts and having and just being able to automatically distribute all the contents. And one of the other things that we already released in the V1 is also email template, how the email can go out about this new property that's coming out on the market, and then the printed brochures. I'm now blanking if the printed brochures is already prepared or that's coming out in one of the updates. But yeah, so the V1 for Spotlight now starts to render marketing assets, and we're gonna have the next update where we're gonna have some automation tools added and functionality added, hopefully pretty soon.
I've heard a lot of things there. I think I really need to break it down a little bit more tactical for me in terms of understanding the Giraffe360 listing Spotlight. Sounds like the real estate agent is able to sign in to into their listing Spotlight. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the concept is that we want to give Spotlight at first for free for all the real estate agents. So if our partner photographer has created a listing, then they, together with all the assets and the real estate media, they can give access to the platform of the marketing platform called Listing Spotlight, and there the real estate agent can actually run their real estate marketing from there, and that's our opportunity to work more succinct with the real estate agent and their requirements. So the contents from the content studio gets used to produce all the marketing campaigns, and there I think the market can decide themselves if the real estate agent wants a photographer to run the marketing campaigns or they want to do it themselves. I think it's again personal preference, but we want to give this opportunity and give more to our partners, and then just creating a real estate media, but also providing the real estate marketing platform.
So let's go back to Instagram, for example. So I'm a real estate agent. My photographer said, good news, your listing for 123 Main Street is available. Sign in here. At that point, they have all the content that's been created, HDR photos, floor plan, virtual tour, property website, the various social media sizes, and content. Am I hearing that correctly? So on that Instagram post, that might be using a photo, it might be using a floor plan, it might be using a video. Somehow it might be related to a virtual tour. I'm not sure.
And not really. We used today for the post creation. We used mostly images on the V1 gets used for the post creation. Yeah.
And video as well.
Not today, not in the V1. But obviously in the future, in the future releases, like we are releasing new updates, features on every category, literally every 30 days. And so it's a matter of time until all the assets can be distributed through the Spotlight.
And in that listing Spotlight, the agent, the real estate agent, the estate agent can link to they can tie their Instagram account to the content and simply say, that's the one I want, click, boom, sent.
Mm-hmm. So today you can download and just use a QR code to publish, and so that photographer can either send that post, hey, you can post this one, or second one is but the account connection is coming out in the next update. It's actually not in the V1. In the V1, you just use a QR code to get it on your phone and publish it very conveniently. And the automation part is coming in one of the next updates. But yes, it's a matter of time until a real estate agent can connect their Instagram, their TikTok account, their LinkedIn account, their Twitter account, and can distribute all the posts simultaneously with one click of the button, instead of going to 5 different social media platforms and getting their updates and announcements out. Yes.
And for clarification, the real estate agent would in the listing Spotlight have the opportunity to edit the various sizes and which images are selected.
Yeah. So yes, there's still editing component there. I'm really trying to avoid in Spotlight for too much of editing, because I think marketing automation and campaign work becomes very important there, and so the content studio there is to really personalize. But because the assets get some formatting on top of them, you still have some editing capability. But I use word formatting in the Spotlight's context, and because how we've been developing the Giraffe platform is that has been those are the hats we wear in the content studio. Really, you really personalize the listing, you edit all the real estate media and create I would say you have your designer hat on or a pro or artist hat on, and then once you switch to the Spotlight, it's all about performance. Where do I publish? What's my sequence? What's my campaigns? How do I get out the email newsletter, get published everywhere? How do I get the regular communication out? And so I think the the mentality of the platforms is very different. And so, and we see that we have learned that in our day-to-day experiences when you talk about photography as a single asset, it's all about the image quality. But then once you switch gears to the marketing, it's all about performance, and then kind of the image quality is no longer as important topic as it is about is this listing performing? Is it bringing in inquiries? Are we getting engagement on social media? And so those become more dominant topics. So the user interface and the mentality for the user once you switch between Content Studio to Spotlight is kind of different, and we want to get out of the artist hat in the Content Studio and switch to the marketeer hat in the listing Spotlight.
Is the Giraffe 360, is the AI also generating a listing description that's turned into an email that shows up in the listing Spotlight?
Yes, and that's the efficiency. I think that was your first question. That's where we get that leap of efficiency. So from a scan, we generate tons of insights. We use that insights as prompts to generate a description. And in Content Studio, there is a section where you can actually write a couple of descriptions, whether it's a shorter or longer. And then we use that description to generate a website information and social media posts. And what's very interesting, what I think is very impressive, when you create a video in the Content Studio, we then use that description to turn it into MP4 file, and it becomes a voiceover for a video. And so the input is the same description that gets created, or different styles of that description that then gets used in variety of ways in the website or in the video voiceover, for example.
And at some point, there's an opportunity to say, okay, the AI has created a description of this listing, but if the agent wants to change the wording, or if the photographer wants to change the wording, that can be done.
Exactly. Yeah, you can overrule. I think with the principle with operating principle with AI solutions is you want it to be right or deliver how you want things in 80% of cases, and then in 20% of cases you want to always be able to jump in and personalize how you want it. I think if the AI doesn't deliver 80% result you kind of want, then I don't think the value is really there, because then it becomes a bad version to edit, and then you're rather just better on as a creator just building everything yourself. But to expect that AI in all the contents, because for example the description, it's another super subjective topic, like what's a good property description. 10 different people are going to have their 10 different preferences. And we have gone away from this dogma that we should deliver everything right, or everything, because there's, except floor plans, because you have a legal standard what is accurate and what's not accurate. All the other medias is actually very subjective, and so there is the agent's preference, the photographer's preference, and then the consumer's preference. And so they I kind of wanted to expand on that topic, that hence the editing functionalities just all unlocked everywhere, because there's no way how AI will always deliver the right result, and there needs to be way how to edit. So every content gets created, that's you can edit.
Yeah, I did forget to ask you about on the floor plans. Do you deliver square feet, square meters?
Yeah, settings you can change. We have clients in many countries, and so you can adopt by meters or feet based on your location.
Does it calculate though? I ask because many photographers charge by the square foot or square meter. Can the floor plan generate the total square footage?
Yep. Yeah, it generates. It's a very simple algorithm. You see that on the floor plan, and in the virtual tour, you can actually unlock. You can show both square meters and square feet. That's actually, even in America, if the feet are the dominant media, but then there are lots of people who have moved from Latin America or from Europe that actually prefer to see everything in meters. So I've seen people actually allow both of the data to be on the interface, and that's actually quite convenient.
Just for clarity, if 3,500 square feet was scanned, there's a way to actually see a number that says 3,500 square feet.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Right.
yes. It shows up on the floor plan. It calculates the total area, and if you change your settings to square meters, then you're going to see that in equivalent to the square meters. If you change that to the square feet, you can see that in square feet, or both. That's also an option.
Okay, Mikas, before I ask you about the real estate photographer program, just going back for a moment to spotlight maybe at a higher level view, you built out this whole social media marketing piece. Can you speak to why Giraffe360 has added this module?
Yeah, I think that's where the industry is heading. The social media as a search is growing the quickest. I think real listings portals are not going anywhere. They are the majority where people find properties. The second big category is actually agent recommendations. So how you market to other agents is actually super important. And so and then we also added email, because if you want your property to reach max audience, you want to just be in all channels. I think Dan, you told me before we started this recording that week from today, you get this podcast distributed in 19 platforms. Is that correct? Yeah. And so I think it's just like marketing rule number one is to get reach, get your information out in channels. And so I think it's not that important which channel performs better and which channel brings in the client for that specific property then becomes the analytics of the channel performance and how you operate in each channel. But the number one rule is from my end would be get property distributed to every single platform. It is out there, and so today everything goes to listing portals, but not everything goes to social media, and that social media workflow is very clunky and clumsy, and it goes back to the real estate media production. If photography is the main asset that gets produced in that capture, you don't get a good source file to then go and reproduce very good social media content. So with this one workflow, how we produce, we wanted to fix these issues, and then to pre-populate the collateral for all the platforms. And so social media is just one of the central ones, the obvious ones. But the core principle that I wanted to emphasize is get the property information out everywhere. Yeah.
Is the Giraffe360 listing spotlight a way for the photographer to differentiate themselves from I keep saying photographer, but I think you're coming up with a different term here, a digital media content creator? Is that a way to differentiate? Oh, that person provides photos or virtual tours or floor plans. We actually provide marketing solution with all those assets.
Exactly. Yeah, you made my pitch. That's how I see it.
Oh, you make your pitch yourself. I bet it said those words. So how would you describe the transition perhaps of a photographer from photographer to media content creator? What is your vision on that? How is the platform being built out for that?
Yeah, I think the pitch to the real estate agents would be that we can provide your real estate marketing for you and get your content on social media, get a consistent coverage, prepare your email marketing, and get it all your real estate marketing covered. And we as your photographer are gonna create real estate media for every property we're gonna service you on, and we do real estate media across 5 different asset classes. We have photography, floor planning, video, virtual tour, and point clouds. They all get used to produce your website, your social media posts, and that is the central like switch from single asset kind of mindset where a photographer is for photography to real estate media terminology that we are offering or advocating. I'm not sure what's the best adjective to use here because I don't think it's I think the consumers are already demanding that. And when we were creating the photographer program, and I guess we're going to speak about that also in a second, is we had this debate internally, should we even call it a photographer program? But for the clarity of just for the like today's photographers, I think role has already evolved beyond photography. It's about real estate media creation, and we offer to couple that with the real estate marketing additional services. And so I think the term photographer actually no longer means just the photography, and it's kind of have so we kind of stick with the term because that's the historic operation that I kind of have it started. But we really think this is about real estate marketing, and to enable good real estate marketing, you need to produce all real estate media. So
going back, if I may, going back to part one of our show, I was asking you a question about professional real estate photographers, and maybe that wording should be changed to professional content creators. But to the essence of my question, why should professional real estate photographers that are already using a mirrorless camera, DSLR, whatever gear, why consider switching to using Giraffe 360 Pro Camera for all the content creation rather than shooting the space with two different cameras?
That's beautiful. Thank you for framing it like that. So it's two reasons. It's our marketing automation platform that just builds all marketing workflows, and we're starting with the websites and social media posts. And second is the efficiency that in one capture process, you can create like 5 core real estate media that then gets multiplied to many different real estate media forms. And it's the efficiency from going to the place and using one system instead of using 5 different systems. And so I think Giraffe is very powerful where you really see the value in all of these assets, but as single asset project. Sorry for the background noise. Somebody driving with a motorcycle, and I think with the single asset, I think you end up in the very expensive setup. Where though I think some people would still operate it like that. Though one thing I want to emphasize in that setup, Giraffe doesn't fly, so we don't have no outside shirt, no drone product in our setting, and that's a very essential product where I think. Our partners will couple Giraffe platform with the drone footage, and so yeah.
How soon until drone photography, photos and videos will be able to be delivered through the listing spotlight? Today is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025.
Yeah, I will not give the date, but there will be a possibility to upload files back so we can display them in the spotlight. It's easier when you build a product. It's a bit easier when you operate with the content you control. So all the first iterations come from Giraffe internal assets, but specifically for this reason, and that's why in Content Studio we never saw a need to re-upload contents. It's specifically for this use of the spotlight for the marketing, where you want to be able to either re-upload Giraffe as assets that you have somehow, if you wanted to personalize it in a different software, or like upload your drone images. Yes, that will be possible. I don't want to give the date because we don't actually run no longer on these very long roadmaps. We have priority. We pick the project and we deliver that in the next development cycle, and we really move quickly and decide. We're very agile in making that decision on what's the next most important thing to add to our platform. And we have 5 core product categories, all and so we don't we know what's coming out in the next one, and then one after that. It's a constantly moving. We have learned that that's a way better setup than how like I know an annual roadmap that never gets fulfilled.
Mikas, when you do add the ability to upload drone photos and video so that it ends up in listing spotlight, ends up in the property website, would images, uploading of other images occur at that same time? So for holdout photographers that are not ready to make the leap to use the Giraffe360 Pro Camera for their HDR photos, their maybe they're shooting flambient. They would still like to upload their flambient image.
And yes, it will be the same functionality. It's an upload functionality back into the system. So what are the assets then re-uploaded becomes independent on the user. And I kind of, to double down on your point, I think pro photo setup, or there are these dedicated high quality setups, will always be used. I don't think Giraffe doesn't strive to kill all the setups, but what we strive to do is create the core operating principle that does things in a very high quality across these real estate media categories. And I don't want to be too dogmatic that suddenly you can throw your DSLR camera in the bin and no longer use it. I think again, different clients, different preferences. You want some flexibility, and but where I would give Giraffe a chance is to test it out. Is this strong enough a core setup? And I think before people can, well, before a potential partner wants to make that switch, like we have created a very easy option to test them out. I think we want the product to speak for itself, and so our partners are able to really test out the system. I think in a very low cost and a convenient way. So it's not an aggressive switch.
Yeah, I'll mention there the Giraffe360 was kind enough to extend to the We Get Around Network community a special offer to try the Giraffe360 Pro Camera risk-free for 60 days, just $123 per month for 2 months. Take it for a spin with 10 property listings, with all the different potential, including add-ons that are available, with no long-term commitment. Full details and to order, visit WGAN.info/Giraffe360-Pro. That's GIRAFFE360-PRO. I think it seems like an appropriate time to just ask you that if you're a real estate photographer, you're watching this show in part because you may be trying to make a decision. Do I go with Matterport or do I go with Giraffe360? Can you speak to Giraffe360 versus Matterport?
Yeah, I get this question a lot, and I think we always but we have been trying to build Giraffe as our as our product that delivers on the vision. I think we spoke extensively today about how what has been the philosophy. So I think it's just like we never been ourselves comparing too much with the Matterport or other tools, because we had our unique perspective on the market about real estate media creation and about marketing automation and how important are these different platforms becoming. Hence, but I think that also answers your question. Like Giraffe isn't one asset product, or it doesn't strive to be. It's a very powerful system that takes advantage of robotics and AI and creates this crazy efficient and high quality process of new generation of real estate media creation. And I really want to avoid emphasizing whether it's photography or it's a 3D or it's a floor plan, because it's not really about those single assets. If you kind of really start to dive into the Giraffe platform, it becomes about the power of using data in different categories, in different places, being extremely efficient at one software and one hardware can do that. So and that's where I think we're very unique. We've had this unique perspective, and we get and like the market will be the judge how well we deliver on this promise. But Giraffe versus any other platform is about the versatility and the richness, and thus for the photographer it means more services to provide at a super low cost, because you have one system that produces it. I think it becomes extremely efficient, operationally efficient, and cost efficient.
Can you give us some scale and scope of Giraffe 360, perhaps the number of countries, the number of tours, how long you've been around? Sometimes there's some angst about to say, hey, I've heard of Matterport. I know it's a division of CoStar, a publicly traded company. I'm reading the We Get Around Network forum. I'm just learning about Giraffe 360. Want to make sure if I invest in the platform, it's going to be around.
Yeah, it's a good, a solid question in these times. So we had our first Gen 1 camera already back in 2017. We built the first iteration, and then the Gen 3 was the camera with which we started to gain a pace, and we today on and Gen 4 we released back in 22, if I'm now not mistaken. So and the Gen 4 is the product with which we scaled out of the core European markets. Originally we started in the UK, and that's where our roots are, in lots of London properties in our portfolio. And then we scaled across Europe and launched in America in 2020 2 and 2023 with the release of the Gen 4 platform. Today we do, as I mentioned, every 80 seconds there's new property created. Last year we did more than 200,000 listings. This year we'll do way more than that. Let's see if we're gonna double the volumes, or where that will gonna be. We have tens of thousands, more than 10,000 users into our platform today. And so I think from the data volume we process, we operate, and I think it's no longer a small operation, but I don't, yeah, but we're really looking to our Pro camera as it shifts our focus in the industry. With our base models, we most of our users were real estate agents, where we offered efficiency for themselves to create the productions. And this Pro model, we really worked on to switch gears to open a new way to partner with professional users into market. Hence, we also created the whole program and all the advantages. So, but that's and in the team size we are today a bit more than 200 people, and most of that is technical engineering. We develop the AI developments is quite extensive team. The robotics camera. What's unique about us? We have been a bit control freakish, so we engineer our own LiDAR. Most of the parts are in our own facility. We have up to like CNC machines, and so we literally build an engineer camera. It's not a third party tool, and so we have a complete control over those two big items: is the camera, the AI, and that's all developed by our staff of 200 ish people.
Can you talk about the business model of how you charge, specifically subscriptions, without getting into the pricing is public, it's on the website, it's easy to find, but to have a business model that's different. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, we do everything as a subscription. I really like subscription business model. Wasn't a big. We never wanted to be in a camera sale business. Basically, it's in another way how to sell it. We didn't want it to start to sell cameras and then try to make profit from camera sales. What we wanted to do is find the partners with whom we can work for many years, and that's to be a long-lasting relationship. So since day one, Giraffe has been a subscription. You don't buy like there's nothing as a one item purchase, just because of this philosophy that we wanted to be in a partnership with our users, instead of trying to sell them on something. Because if the product's not good, the client gonna cancel it, and if it's great, they're gonna continue to renew it. It's as simple as that, and it aligns our mentality, how we want to develop the product with the market, and we don't have to try to convince them of something. So everything's a subscription, and it bundles through the product categories through which I now laid out. We already spoke about today. You can subscribe to a camera. If something happens to a camera, I don't know, suddenly it doesn't work, we switch it around, or vice versa. If a new model comes out, once you upgrade to your new contract, you get a camera replacement. So it's very convenient operations for our partners. If you have to maintain operations, we even don't. If your camera breaks for some reason, or there's some kind of an issue, I don't know, somebody left it in the car and it's locked, you don't need to send it back until we actually release to you a new camera. We usually, based on a request, straight away ship out the kit. So it takes 48 to 70 hours to arrive typically, and so you don't have we can try to manage as less downtime to you as our partner as possible. So I think that's a good advantage for the subscription model. And then the subscription model goes into the content studio. What are the contents you want to create? What are the add-on features? And then Spotlight is a new thing. It's now free until we build it in a very extensive, more extensive functionality. And then we're going to look to switch that to being a paid product for the real estate brokerages or agents to use. But today it's a free add-on to the content studio, if you may. So yeah, but it's a subscription, and you can bundle how you want. And the rule is, the more properties you do, the cheaper per project it gets. And we don't charge for data hosting. We kind of don't have any of those hosting fees. As long as you are an active camera subscriber, it's all based on your use of the product as a creator, instead of like hosting. That only kicks in if you, for some reason, cancel the camera. You want to maintain access to the content studio.
So it's kind of like build your own bundle. The first thing you need is the camera. It's a camera that comes with a tripod, a carrying case. And then second is pick out how many listings per month that you typically do, or per year.
Yep.
And then there's some add-ons that you offer. Which of these add-ons do you want to be part of the bundle? And then you're either paying a flat monthly fee or a flat annual fee. Is that?
Yeah, that's correct. And if you pay annual fee, you get a discount from your annual bill. If you want to keep flexible, manage your cash flow, pay monthly bill, and so the longer you can take a short-term contract, a quarterly subscription, or 12-month subscription. Again, the longer the contract, the cheaper it gets, and so the shorter the contract, the bit more expensive it gets. But our clients can decide what fits for their business better.
And is there some type of satisfaction guarantee, 30 days, something?
Yeah, there's a 28-day guarantee to money back if you don't like or cancel the subscription in the 28 days and get out of the commitment. And there's 28-day guarantee. Yeah, I probably want to emphasize that we're not really in a business to tie people into the subscriptions. Like, we're building a very valuable product, and we expect our users to find that out, and then we'll figure out the plans that works for them better. So we don't run very aggressive sales plans in that instance. I think we especially with the pro setup and us starting the photographers program, we're even kind of being very clear that try out the product, see how powerful it is, and see if it's something that we wanna partner up on and build lasting relationships together. And yeah.
So if you go ahead and subscribe today and you commit for X number of months or year, that within 28 days of taking it for a spin, you decide it's not right for you, return it and end your subscription.
Yeah, and your subscription, I think, gets as soon as the camera gets shoot back, then that. But it has to happen in that 28-day window. Then you're not locked into the if you have selected, for example, 12-month subscription, but you then are not locked into that subscription. You get released from that if you return it within that first 28 days.
Okay, and then the Giraffe 360 special offer. Try the Giraffe 360 Pro Camera risk-free for 60 days, just $123 per month for 2 months with no long-term commitment. Includes 10 property listings in that time. The full details and to order, visit wgan.info/Giraffe360 Pro, GIRAFFE360-PRO. So in that particular case, you get done with the 60 days. You can, what are the next steps? At the end of that trial, risk-free 60 days, then what happens?
Once you're done with your 60 days or done 10 properties, 2 options: either return it and say the Giraffe is bad, or sign up for a subscription. Then the 123 is the monthly subscription for the camera. So then it becomes deciding on how big of a processing bundle do you want to subscribe to, and the bigger the bundle, the more expensive it is, but cheaper per project, or smaller the bundle is the vice versa, and then pick the add-ons that you want to that bundle. So yeah, and the test doing 10 properties will probably give a very clear understanding of all the bundles and application for your business. So I think it will be good time to then decide what fits and what doesn't.
Our last topic, Giraffe 360 Photographer Program.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Giraffe 360 Photographer Program.
Yeah. So the photographer program it's very interesting. We don't actually see photographers as our clients per se. We think about photographers as our business partners, and so hence we developed the photographer program to then give the business partnership and build the whole business partnership around it. So as a photographer, when you subscribe to the camera, you could just be a client, but part of the photographer's program, photographer becomes our business partner. And what does that mean is that we with every camera you can sign up to 2 exclusive zip codes that will be exclusive to our photographer in that specific area, and that's going to give a couple of advantages. One of the advantages, once we receive client inquiries for service, we're going to deliver back then to that local photographer based on that zip code selection. So and the second one is as we service some enterprise clients, and we have an opportunity to service top companies in the industry, then that's also how we work with our partners who can receive those jobs and execute them into the area. So the photographer program, at first it's a principle that we want to work with photographers as business partners, and we want to build long-lasting relationships together, and we created this program where you can benefit from all the Giraffe infrastructure to build your business, and we can then we can have this very exclusive, very high quality network of our partners into the market.
What does exclusivity mean about zip codes?
Yeah, number one, it's once as we generate leads, we receive constantly inquiries about service. We then will distribute these service inquiries back to those areas based on those zip codes. That's probably the clearest business benefit.
So for clarification, if I buy a Giraffe 360 Pro camera and someone else has those zip codes, I can still shoot for my own clients. I'm not restricted in any way. The exclusivity of the zip codes relates to any potential referrals that Giraffe360 makes into those zip codes will be to photographers that have those zip codes as an exclusive. And I believe initially that's for 12 months, and this initially is in the United States only.
Yeah, you laid it out perfectly. So it doesn't in no way restrict our user, but it's the way how we can then distribute the referrals. So we have a clear way how we can pass down the referrals, and it's based on these zip codes, and we wanna focus. Ideally, we want to find the partners who become leaders in their local areas, and we can work together to give them the product that they are leaders in their local areas, give them the most advanced technology, where with all the opportunities for them then to build their business.
For a photographer to qualify for the Giraffe360 Photographer Program, are there any requirements?
Yeah, there's requirement to do at least 5 listings, and the requirement is there purely to
5 listings
maybe it's
per month minimum.
per month. Yeah. And the principle behind that requirement is it's to give the first rights to the people who already operate in the areas, and see if they wanna work with Giraffe360, and so there's some quality benchmark already introduced there. So, and that's 5 properties a month.
Can you select the zip codes by signing up for the Giraffe360 special offer of risk-free for 60 days?
I believe once you have the camera, you have access to the directory and you can pick your zip code. Yes.
Okay.
So that functionality is already. I think as soon as you receive the camera, you can lock in your zips.
And then can you check before subscribing that the zip codes that you're seeking are available?
Yeah, directories is today either in the website, but if you can't find it, or for some reason it's not live today, you can always check with our support team, and inquiry at giraffe360.com, or reach out on any of the channels, and we can relay back to you whether that zip code is available, and what's the coverage in that area.
Okay. I would just point out, if you go to giraffe360.com directly, you can see the pricing on an ongoing basis. If you choose to sign up there, use the WGAN affiliate code WGAN, and you'll get a free blue sky replacement. But going back for a moment, for those that are deciding perhaps to pre-order the camera in anticipation, or pre-subscribe in anticipation of the July shipping. So as soon as you order the Giraffe360 Pro Camera risk-free, 60 days, $123 per month for 2 months, no long-term commitment. Again, full details at wgan.info/Giraffe360-Pro. At that point, you can select 2 zip codes that are presently available, with the assumption that by the end of that 60-day period, or before that, you're going to convert to a subscription at a tier that is 5 listings per month minimum.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Before we say bye, is there anything else on the Giraffe360 Photographer Program to add?
I think we covered all the key parts. Yes, no, I don't think I have anything specific to add today.
Then in the last minute or two, I'd like to ask just one more question, Mikas. You're in an elevator. It's a very tall building. Someone mentioned they're a real estate photographer. You have about 2 minutes. They haven't watched today's show. What's your pitch to them about Giraffe360 Photographer Program, Giraffe360 Pro Camera, Giraffe360 Content Creation. What's that message that you want to convey to them in that 2 minutes?
For more than 20 years, photography has been synonymous with real estate marketing, but the world has moved on. The digital space has moved on. And today, the real estate marketing has evolved from photography to real estate media that includes floor planning, video production, and then even extends further to marketing automation and marketing workflows. So Giraffe has designed a platform that has been built up on the cutting edge robotics and AI's capability to reshape, restructure how we think about real estate media production and move away from a single workflow system to a very integrated, multidisciplinary real estate media production. And that's a powerful platform that promises to build a new generation of real estate marketing. And you should just give it a try. I think that's my 1 minute summary.
Mikas, thanks for being on the show today.
Dan, always pleasure. Good to see you again.
We've been visiting with Mikas Opelts, founder and CEO of Giraffe360. I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the We Get Around Network Forum, and you've been watching WGAN-TV live at 5.